Hello all. In this video, we'll be seeing about the refrigerants and the type of refrigerant that are used in a refrigeration system. So first, what is a refrigerant? It is a chemical that absorbs the heat and it helps in the smooth functioning of a refrigeration system. So there will be no chemical change that takes place inside the refrigerant. Instead, there will be a phase change, that is from liquid to vapor to solid. There is no solid state, but like liquid to vapor and vapor to liquid. So this type of phase change will occurs in a refrigerant. So it is usually a substance or mixture, usually a fluid, used in a heat pump and refrigeration cycle. In most cycles, it undergoes phase transition from liquid to gas and back again. So many working fluids have been used for such purposes. Hydrofluorocarbons, chlorofluorocarbon become the common in the 20th century, but they are being phased out because of their ozone depletion effects. As we know, this chlorofluorocarbon, it is a main reason for the ozone depletion. It is replaced with the other refrigerant called hydrofluorocarbon. So this ban, it came in the 1996 itself, and recently it has been imposed in India also. So we cannot find any of the refrigerator with the chlorofluorocarbon. So other common refrigerants that are used in various applications are ammonia, sulfur dioxide, and non-halogenated hydrocarbons such as propane. So these are something about a refrigerant. So there are many properties that a refrigerant actually possesses. So it starts with the thermodynamic properties. So thermodynamic property, if we look into, it has a low boiling point, low freezing point, high latent heat of vaporization, high critical temperature. So low boiling point, a good refrigerant, it should have a low boiling point below the target level, since boiling point is not affected by the pressure. Refrigerant should be selected based on the operating pressures. Next is the low freezing point. Low freezing point, the liquid refrigerant must not solidify under certain, so it should not get freezed. There should be no solid state. Only two phases of changes are possible, should be possible in the refrigerant, like it should be liquid to vapor or vapor to liquid. There should be no formation of solid refrigerant, and a high latent heat of vaporization, so that heat transfer is easily done in the refrigeration cycle, and high critical temperature, that is easy for the condensation of a refrigerant vapors for the phase change. This is also an important parameter. And the next one is physical properties. So if we look into the physical properties of a refrigerant, it is low viscosity, low liquid specific heat, low specific volume, and high thermal conductivity. So low viscosity, it is for the easy circulation of the refrigerant, and high specific, low liquid specific heat and high thermal conductivity, and they are to increase the refrigerating effect per kg. And a low specific volume, it occupies a minimum space, thereby keeping the compressor capacity to a minimum, and pipe diameters relatively small to reduce the size of the refrigerant. The specific volume should be very low. And the next one is chemical properties of a refrigerant. So it should be a non-toxic, non-flammable, non-corrosive, and good chemical stability. So in order to avoid the chemical changes to be taken place, there should be no chemical change, but only a phase change to be taken by a refrigerant. So to avoid that, it should not be of a toxic one, it should not be flammable because it becomes a fatal error, and it should not be corrosive, that also leads to many problems, and it should have a good chemical stability. And other properties are its availability. It should be easily available in the shops, it should be of a low cost, and the handling should also be easy, like the much skilled labor should not be required. So these are some of the properties of a refrigerant. So the next one is about types of refrigerant. So there are many types of refrigerants available, in which we'll be seeing about very few refrigerants that are used commonly in the refrigeration system. So the first one is ammonia. It is represented as NH3. So it is an attractive refrigerant. It has been used in refrigerant system since 1840 and in a vapor compression since 1860. In terms of its properties, it should be considered as high class refrigerant. Further, its ODP and GWP are 0. However, it is a self-altering gas, that is, the leak can be easily detected by the smell, as ammonia is very hazardous to the environment. This is the main reason why ammonia was withdrawn from the applications for the use by unskilled people and retained only for the industrial application. So in the property itself, we saw like it should be easily accessible. So if we are using this ammonia in the house, and if there is any leakage in the ammonia, it may lead to many accidents. So to avoid that, they are using this ammonia as a refrigerant only in the industrial purpose, where there will be skilled operators. And the next refrigerant is carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide, it is indicated as R744. Carbon dioxide has several attractive characteristics like non-flammable, it does not cause ozone depletion, very low toxicity, and available in large quantity and low cost. So it satisfies all the properties of a refrigerant. However, it also has a low efficiency and high operating pressure. For the two later reasons, efforts are needed to improve its refrigeration cycle and related technologies. Particularly, heat exchanger and expansion devices should be in such a way that it should be able to do the proper work. A major forthcoming carbon dioxide application seems to be air conditioning in the automotive industries. Heat pumps could also benefit from carbon dioxide due to the higher temperature that can be obtained at very low ambient temperatures. So the next one is the most important refrigerant, that is hydrofluorocarbon. So the hydrofluorocarbons are refrigerant that contain no chlorine and are not harmful to the ozone layer. So the ozone depletion level is 0. However, their impact on global warming is very large compared to that of the traditional refrigerants. So, and there are some other refrigerants also like Freon and Freon. In that Freon also there are two types. One is Freon 12 and Freon 22. So these are some of the refrigerants that are used in our society. Thank you.